Ink Deep by Enchanted Nightingale. Chapter 8. Peek into the future. Neji frowned. I don't like this. Neither do I, Ibiki replied. The Hyuga was one of his best Anbu in years, and the man hated withdrawing him from active duty, but sometimes needs had to be met. Neji could not leave the village for a while, as they had information that Kumo had started making moves to get their hands on a Hyuga again. Not the official government, but relatives and clan members of the shinobi that had died trying the last time. Usually, that would not have been bad, as the caged bird seal prevented the bloodline limit of all branch members from being stolen. Neji, while not officially a main branch member, had had his seal deactivated by his uncle at Hinata's request. And Neji was also a prime target, as his father had been the one to kill the Kumo shinobi that had tried to take his cousin. Still, Neji accepted that for a while he should lay low until the rumor was either dropped or the problem went away. The Godame was making diplomatic moves already, but Neji did not want to press his luck, especially since the trouble in his last mission was made by Kumo. You won't be completely inactive, Ibiki continued. Neji cocked his head to the side. Ibiki looked quite smart and a little bit sadistic when he said his next words. You are getting a genin team. Neji could only stare. Hanabi blinked. Hinata's jaw slightly parted. Harry cocked his head to the side. And Hiyashi? Hiyashi's lips tried not to work out plates. Then all four of them started chuckling at Neji's expense. It is not funny! The youngest male Hyuga glared at them. Sorry, cousin! Hinata giggled. Poor genin, Hanabi sighed. Harry swallowed a chuckle of his own. I'm sure it won't be that bad, he told his lover. Neji felt the urge to roll his eyes. He eyed his uncle instead, but Hiyashi was obviously amused. Just don't kill the kids, Hanabi told him. No matter how much you want to, Harry finished. It was not just Neji's family that were amused at his Jonin instructor status. The news traveled fast, and next time the Hyuga went by the armor shop of Tenten's father to buy shuriken, the Kunoichi cracked up. Hello, Sensei! She smiled at him. Neji glowered. Watch with the glare, Tenten told him. The last thing you need is crying kids. Just bring me my order, Neji told her. The Kunoichi rolled her eyes. Seriously, don't be so uptight. Right before he left the store, she had words for him. And remember, Tenten yelled after him, you are not allowed to bang them. Neji ignored her. His next confrontation came from his own Jonin instructor. Guy cornered him at some point, and he was really excited about Neji having genin to teach. When the spandex-clad man tried giving Neji advice, that Hyuga tried to fend him off. The moment Guy started talking about matching uniforms and flames of youth, Neji ran, not caring if it seemed undignified or not. Harry smiled. Neji's former teammate Lee had come by his tattoo shop along with Sai and Naruto. He was happy to see them. How are you? The green-eyed wizard greeted them. Lee started going on about the flames of youth, and Naruto was equally excited. Sai was waiting silently. Why are you here? Harry asked. Moral support! Naruto replied and pushed the one who had yet to speak forward. Harry blinked. Sai wants it too! Naruto said. The wizard turned to the former root shinobi. Sai, was it? Yes, Sai replied. What do you want? A tattoo that works with ink manipulation, Sai said. Harry smiled. I can work something out. Do you want to have it today? I have nothing else planned. Sai took out a piece of paper from his pocket and extended it towards Harry. The artist opened it. Very nice sketch. Nightingale, right? Yes, it is. Thank you, Sai said. Naruto was giving him a wide-eyed look, surprised that Sai was so polite. I will do this, Harry decided. Let's get you ready. So, Harry, Naruto said, I heard a most interesting rumor. Harry smiled. About Neji? Naruto nodded. He is getting a genin team, Harry confirmed. Neji had not visited the academy since he graduated himself. The room was still filled with brats, and the Hyuga was anxious to leave and get it over with. Team 2, he called out. Meet me in Training Grounds 12 in the next 10 minutes. Don't be late, he said and stormed off, leaving the 3 academy graduates to rush after him. I am Hyuga Neji Jonin, he stated. Tell me your names, age, rank, likes, dislikes, and best technique. The first genin started. He was a short one, with markings on his face, long hair caught in a ponytail, brown pants, and red and brown shirt. Inuzuka Yoshi, 12, genin. I like my dog, Keiya, training with her and eating beef. I hate cats and waking up early. My best technique... henge, I guess, and my family techniques. Next, Neji said, Oh, Torikara, the Kanuichi said. She had short black hair with a bluish tinge and brown eyes. 12, genin. I like flowers and reading. I hate spiders, and my best technique... I can use senbon and a few medical jutsu. Neji turned to the last one. A pair of Hyuga eyes met him. My name is Hyuga Mamoru. I'll be 12 in 2 weeks. Genin, I like calligraphy and training. I hate rainy days. My best technique is the jutsu. I see, Neji said. You have 3 hours to pass my test. If you do, then and only then, I will accept you as my genin team. Is that clear? The 3 kids nodded seriously. I want you to find me. I will be somewhere in Konoha. You need to track me down. Begin now, he said, and vanished in a swirl of leaves. Harry rubbed his lover's temple, slipping his fingers into the rich, silky, dark strands of hair every once in a while, making Neji groan. Your headache cannot be that bad, the artist observed. I had Naruto and Lee in my shop, and apparently Sai is reserved only while I am doing a day 2 on him. Afterwards, he became lewd enough to make me blush. I have a genin team. Officially, that is. I'll refrain from congratulating you. My day was still worse, though. Yes, well, the next months will be hell for me. I have to supervise D ranks now. Neji shuddered. Poor Neji, Harry whispered, a smile on his face. How could I possibly help? Neji opened his eyes. Then he pulled Harry down, and he fell with a small yelp in Neji's lap. The Byakugan prodigy then pressed his lips against Harry's, and the wizard moaned. They stayed there, kissing each other, their hands pulling at each other's clothes slowly. Has been too long, Harry agreed when Neji got his hands under the green-eyed man's shirt and then touched the skin. We were in bed yesterday, but Hanabi wanted me to cook, Harry sighed as Neji gently ran his fingers around his chest. Right, Neji recalled. And before that, the elders came to grovel per Hinata's instructions. I get the picture, the shinobi said and kissed Harry again. The wizard gave in and pulled Neji closer. Right then, someone knocked on the door, and the entangled pair groaned. Ignore the door, Harry sighed. Can't remember the last time we ignored the door and your uncle walked in on us. We were dressed. Barely. Let me up. Neji sighed. He just could not get a break. Uncle giggled. So, your eyes fell. Harry glared at her. No need to mock me. He is training the rents, right? The green-eyed wizard nodded. But I have a plan. Ah? Uncle queried. Harry refused to tell her. 1 year later. It was Neji's birthday. Harry had spoken with Hinata and Hanabi, and the 3 of them had organized a small feast in the main house and invited all those who were friends and comrades. Neji had been moody at first, but Harry did not let him protest. That was how a large rowdy crowd gathered. Harry had made some of the food, and the rest had come from one of the many restaurants around Konoha. Hiyashi had given them free range of the house and then retreated to his quarters to let the younger generation party. It was a long night, and all the people there were pleasantly drunk, and at some point they had even started a couple of drinking games. Neji, while having a buzz from all the alcohol, declined playing. Harry played a couple of rounds, along with the famed Rookie 9, 8 without his lover, plus Sai and a few young Hyugas. The Byakugan prodigy saw how Harry interacted with his comrades. Harry was really easygoing, and people liked him enough. He was much more social than Neji ever was. He still wondered how they were together. Half the time he thought he did not deserve Harry, what with his stoic and usually emotionless face. But the man with those gorgeous green eyes looked at him then. Sorry, guys, he told them and rose to his feet, wobbling a bit before staggering over to Neji and glomping his lover. Neji took Harry in his arms and clutched the man closer, holding him up. You are drunk, Neji observed. Nah, just a teeny tiny bit, Harry said with a small slur in his voice. He lifted his head and nuzzled Neji's neck. Neji smell. I smell? No, you just have Neji scent. I love Neji scent. Neji rolled his eyes. I better get you to bed. He watched as Hinata and Shino were talking and blushing. They were both drunk even a little bit, as he knew that otherwise Hinata would have been close-mouthed and faint around her crush. Neji left the blossoming pair alone and went with his partner to rest. The moment the two lovers got into their bedroom, Harry seemed to sober up a bit and aggressively kissed Neji. The shinobi smiled. "Aren't you drunk?" the Hyuga teased. "So? I want you." Harry took Neji's earlobe between his teeth and gently bit down. "Badly." He breathed in his lover's ear. Neji shivered. "Harry, so bad." Harry's lover groaned. Then the green-eyed artist moved and pinned Neji to the bed. "Undress me?" he asked. Neji complied easily and carefully stripped Harry and then himself at the wizard's insistence. They were all lined up to see the Hokage Tower. Harry had been included to stand near Hyuga Hiyashi along with the rest of the clans. The civilians were even further behind as rows upon rows of shinobi were there, waiting for the new Hokage to be appointed. "I've seen many Hokages while alive," Hiyashi told Harry. "Naruto? He's the most surprising shinobi to hold the title, and the most kind-hearted. He deserves it," the green-eyed wizard said. "A truly good kid." Hiyashi nodded. The Godame came out, and the crowd quieted. Then the speech came, and finally, "And I present you with the Rokudame Hokage, Namikaze Uzumaki Naruto." The crowd went wild. Harry clapped along with the rest of them. "I don't see Neji." "He's patrolling," Hiyashi admitted, and Harry knew not to ask any more questions. "We were invited to the Namikaze estate, Naruto being recognized as the Udame's son." Harry trailed off. "It should have happened sooner," the Hyuga clan head admitted. "But better late than never, so I hear there will be a party." "All the people Naruto grew up with that are his closest friends," Harry responded. "Naturally, the Kazekage and his siblings, and a few more people from outside Ghana. Tell him we are all proud of him. I think he knows," Hiyashi said, watching the bright smile on the new Hokage's face. "But it will be good for him to hear this." "I will," Harry replied. 6 months later, Harry knocked on the door to Hiyashi's study despite the door being open. Neji's uncle invited the wizard inside. "You wanted to see me?" he asked the man. "Yes," Hiyashi admitted. "That's a lot of papers," Harry observed. "Hinata is going to become head of the clan in 10 days. I have to finish with this now," Hiyashi muttered. "Want to lend a hand?" Harry laughed. "No, I'll leave that to you." Hiyashi snorted. He pushed the paper away and motioned for Harry to sit. "I wanted to talk to you about something. Neji has a team. Yes, but in 3 months the brats will be entered into the Chunin exams." "I know," Harry agreed. "That means he will be on active duty again." Harry sighed. Neji had finally showed him his Anbu tattoo, and while Harry had hated the fact that his lover was immersed in danger, he also understood and felt pride for the raven-haired shinobi. For his lover to be that good was both amazing and dangerous. Harry did not hold it against Neji, just as Neji accepted the wizard in Harry. Hiyashi and his daughters were in the know about Harry's abilities, along with a few trusted members of the clan now. They were also closer these days, like a real family. Harry was in fact quite willing to propose a bonding ceremony to Neji, but held back because of the drawbacks. Neji was shinobi. Harry hated the fact that every mission had the possibility of Neji getting killed. "I understand that," the green-eyed man replied. Hiyashi nodded. "Do you remember a few days ago? We walked by the orphanage." Harry blinked. "I remember. Those rascals were sly," he admitted with a fond smile on his face. Harry truly liked kids. "You had said something then." Harry blinked again, and his mind recalled the conversation he had had with Neji. "I said that the kids were cute." "And you also said that you would like to adopt a kid at some point," Hiyashi said. "And when I told you that few members of the clan have a bloodline anymore, you said that they're always around that." Harry sighed. "Yes, I recall." "How?" Hiyashi asked. The raven-haired wizard cocked his head to the side. "Why do you want to know?" "Can you tell me?" "I would like for Neji and the girls to be here," Harry decided. Hiyashi nodded. "Adoption," Neji repeated. Hanabi and Hinata were seated along with them at the family room, just like Hiyashi had asked. The two sisters watched the conversation take place with interest. "Have you discussed this?" Hiyashi asked the couple. Harry and Neji exchanged a look. "We have," Hiyashi's nephew decided, but it is still a bit soon. Harry offered. The couple wanted to spend more time together, learn each other, enjoy each other more. There had been talk of them having a family. Neji had seen Harry interact with kids before Hiyashi had the chance. He knew just how good Harry was with kids, how gentle and playful, and how he made them smile. Neji knew Harry would make a great parent, and in Harry's case, he had seen how Neji turned rather gentle when around kids, how his eyes softened. The green-eyed man felt that his partner would make a good father as well. Now the subject was out in the open.
Harry,
Hiyashi began,
you could make it so any kids you to adopt will have family characteristics.
He was not asking if it was possible, but if the green-eyed man could do this. The wizard nodded slowly.
Hair color, eye color. Will they have the blood limit?
Hiyashi asked outright. That was the crucial question that had Neji and his female cousins staring at Hiyashi, wide-eyed. Then Harry gave a short jerk of his head, confirming Hiyashi's expectations. All the Hyugas eyed Harry with no small amount of surprise. Hiyashi, who had discussed Harry's role in the Department of Mysteries once or twice before.
I told you that I used seals and rituals in my old job,
Harry elaborated.
One of the rituals I worked on needed blood to adopt a child into a family. The blood of the parents, willing to adopt. The child should be under 3 years old. The pain is a lot, and usually older children do not really survive the process well. They have lingering pains or go mad from the pain.
This ritual, Hinata asked. How does it work?
And do you still know how to perform this ritual?
Neji asked. Harry caught his lover's gaze.
Not now,
Neji told him,
but in a few years. I like the idea of us having children together. If anything, I believe you will make a wonderful parent.
Harry smiled. 2 years later. The Hyugas of the main branch were all gathered outside the clan head's house. Inside, Hinata was giddy. Hanabi was also smiling and touching with excitement, and Hiyashi looked proud and moved. Harry and Neji stood in the middle of a circle with various runes etched with chalk and charcoal on the wooden floor. The two men were holding a baby between the two of them. The girl, Mika, was an orphan Neji had found while on a mission. It had been a split-second decision. He had seen the infant dressed in rags, hungry and cold in an orphanage in snow, and he had been unable to resist picking her up to soothe her. She had opened her eyes for a few seconds. It had been enough. Those green orbs had reminded him of Harry too much for Neji to feel fine leaving the baby girl alone. He had returned to Konoha with her, and Harry had been all over the baby like any parent would. Adopting her was something the two men agreed on the spot. The rest of the clan had been told there would be a new Hyuga for them to greet, but nothing else. Hinata, the current clan head, had been ecstatic about the new addition to the family. Hanabi had also been moved and touched by the new girl in the family, and often sought her niece out. Hiyashi had been happy as well, and had often taken to visiting Harry to see his first grandchild. Harry let the man babysit often, since he knew Hiyashi wanted to spend time with the baby. The runes were set, the potion was ready. Harry and Neji both bled onto the potion, and then Harry scooped the potion mixture and smeared the concoction on the girl's lips. The baby licked it, and the runes pulsed and glowed. "We welcome you to the family, Hyuga Mika," Shinobi and Wizard said together. The words activated the rune's second stage, and the magic took hold. Mika started crying, and the blood magic took hold. The baby glowed gold for a moment, and the parents as well, and then the glow receded. Harry was smiling now, feeling more confident that the ritual continued going well. Hinata guessed with worry, but Hiyashi held on to her and Hanabi as well.
"All will be well,"
he assured his daughters.
"Look."
Sure enough, he was right. Mika was still crying, but it was slowly lowering in volume. The rune circle was now glowing less and less until it died out and the circle disappeared, as if it had never existed before. That made Hanabi gasp. Harry started soothing Mika and rocking her in his arms. "I'll get the bottle," Neji commented.
"Let her meet the family first,"
Harry told him. Neji motioned his uncle and cousins closer.
"Say hello to Mika,"
the shinobi told them, his voice soft. Harry held the baby up. She still had green eyes, but her previously brown hair was now a red color. "Red?" Hinata asked.
"She looks like my mother,"
Harry said with affection in his voice.
She is like you then. Magical.
Hiyashi commented. Harry looked a bit worried.
I had not thought of that. Will that be a problem?
Hiyashi shook his head.
Never.
Visibly relieved, Harry placed a small kiss on his daughter's forehead and then gave her to Neji, who was waiting to feed her. I'll then answer to the family, Hinata said. You should all stay here and enjoy the moment. Thank you, both Harry and Neji told the kind Kunoichi, who smiled and with a soft caress on Mika's chubby leg, slipped out of the house.
Hungry little witch,
The green-eyed artist observed.
Congratulations on an order again,
Hiyashi told them. And this little one will have company soon, Hanabi commented. Hiyashi blinked.
What?
Hinata, Hanabi clarified.
She's pregnant? My baby girl?
The others chuckled.
Not yet,
Harry assured the men.
but it's only a matter of time.
Neji amended. He knew how much he'd love his cousin and Abarame Shimo were. Hiyashi was left reeling. 6 years later,
Mika!
Harry yelled.
Stop picking on Nami.
The two raven-haired girls paused in their scuffle. The eldest girl, Mika, was 5. She had short, messy red hair and pale green eyes against all expectations. She had magic, but she could also develop the Byakugan, something that had been a rather unpleasant surprise to Neji and Harry, considering the first time the girl activated it, she had got her parents in a compromising position. The second child was also a girl and was named Nami. Neji and Harry had been on a trip to Wave when they had come across this little one, too. Nami was 6 months old, a child of a sound Shino and a local village girl who had died in birth. Nobody had wanted the baby, and she had been left in an orphanage ever since. Harry and Neji knew the moment they picked her up that she was going to be family. She was 3 now, with raven black red hair and a pair of Hyuga eyes. Sorry, Daddy, both girls yelled. They turned and glared at each other. Harry rolled his eyes. Before a new spat could start, he waved them over for snacks. Ango snorted. They were seated on the porch. Neji's house had been expanded a bit now that he and Harry had received the 3rd member of their family. Where's the rent?
Neji's gone to pick Haru up,
Harry replied. Haru, being the 3rd child the two men had welcomed into the family. He was from the Land of Fire, though not from Konoha, and he had been a surprise for both men. Neji, in one of his missions, had to kill a slave trader. One of the girls was heavily pregnant. She knew that the labor would not be easy, as she was sickly and weak from malnutrition and abuse. She went into labor before Neji left the town, and Anko, who had been Neji's partner for the mission, had fetched Neji at the girl's insistence. She asked the Hyuga to help her baby.
I could adopt him,
Neji told the woman. She had lit up after that, and had had enough time to give him his name, a name Harry found rather fetching. The baby, prior to the adoption, had showed signs of blonde hair and blue eyes. Afterwards, he gained the Hyuga raven black hair and Harry's green eyes and a Byakugan, but no magic, much like Nami. He had arrived in Konoha just in time to meet Hinata and Shino's twins, Kagome and Hizashi. The twins were going to be the future rulers of their clans. Hizashi already had all the characteristics of the Abarame clan, and Kagome was a Hyuga. All these kids running and crawling all over the place, Uncle mused. He's whipped. The whole family, really. I never knew the Hyuga could be such softies.
Harry shrugged. What about you? Have you decided whether you and Kakashi want a baby?
Uncle smiled. We talked about it. We both think we're too screwed up to be proper parents.
Yes, well, not like Neji and I had same childhoods,
Harry told her. Seeing Uncle looked troubled, he did not press more.
Just know that when you need the potion, I'm here.
Thank you, Harry.
Don't mention it.
4 months later, Neji gently finished dressing his son for the day. He still found it difficult to believe that he had Harry. He had 3 wonderful kids, a nephew and a niece, and if Hanabi and Gaara had their way, there would be more kids soon. The whole family was in Suna, as the Kazekage was getting married to Hyuga Hanabi. No one had seen that coming, least of all Iyashi, but when the Kunoichi announced it to the family, Harry had been quite smug. Neji had given up his Anbu mask after Haru joined his and Harry's family, content with just being part of the Jonin ranks, and he planned to take a second genin team.
Are you boys ready?
Harry asked. He kept hold of their daughter's hands. Both girls looked pretty in their kimonos and seemed rather anxious to see the ceremony. They both adored Hanabi and her sister. Both aunts spoiled them after all.
"We are ready,"
Neji said, picking Haru up.
"Will you take him?"
"Yes, give him here,"
the green-eyed wizard replied as he accepted the boy who was alert, though still too young to talk. He was content with babbling non-stop, something the two fathers found adorable.
"Just so you know,"
Harry added,
she has as to babysit."
Neji's eyes lit up.
"Has he?"
"Yes, and Tamari mentioned an oasis not far from Suna, quite a secluded place."
Neji smirked.
"Interesting. Good to know."
"I thought you would like it."
Harry smiled, then pecked him on the lips before taking Haru and breezing out of the room. End of Ink Deep by Enchanted Nightingale. If you enjoyed this recording or the content, feel free to leave a comment below or a review at the original story from the link in the descriptions. You can support this channel by becoming a member or subscribing. Thank you for listening.